Good morning and welcome to Morning Coach. Today I am so glad you're with us. As you know, my name is JB Glossinger and we are rock and rolling this 7/17/2021. It is episode number 4,299. I always love that when we're ending another 100 episodes. Moving in tomorrow on Sunday, our 4,300th episode. But it is a Saturday, and I got a good one for you. I want to talk about something that may not help you specifically, but if you've got children or somebody that's looking for a job, this is something that you can put in your toolbox, and it's really solid advice. It got me a lot of jobs back in the day when I was looking, and it's the answer to the age-old question of wisdom versus experience. And what are those things, and what do you do when somebody says, well, you don't have the experience? Well, I'm going to give you the answer, so let's get into it.
Thank you for listening to the Free Morning Coach, CoachCast. Today's sponsor is the MorningCoach.com Productivity Belt System. With everything happening in our busy world, it's hard to stay on top of things and get anything done. This is where Morning Coach comes in. We can help you find the best productivity tools for your lifestyle and goals. You'll also be able to take a quick assessment so we know what your thought process is so we can identify the best system for you. All you have to do is stop by morningcoach.com and you will find the free thinking assessment as well as many other tools and resources to help you. Finally, you've found the right system and coaching for you. We will see you over at morningcoach.com where dreams become a reality. Now, back to the show.
So wisdom versus experience. Let's talk about for the first two before I give you the answer to that. And the first thing is experience is doing things. I mean, that's what it is, right? It's making the mistakes. It's going out there and doing it yourself. And the experience is very, very valuable. I mean, I can tell you I've made more mistakes than most human beings. And I continue to make mistakes. I'm learning every day. I'm trying to get better as a human being. I'm trying to get better as a person, a business owner. I mean, all the above, a coach, a teacher. I'm working hard to get better at what I do. And in doing that, I'm going through a lot of experiences. And those experiences are teaching me many things. And because I've failed and gone through so many things, it has really helped me get better at things in my life. It's really helped me, understand things at a deeper level. But that's experience. You go out there and you do it. You get the experience, and there's just something to be said about having that experience. Wisdom, on the other hand, is what you learn really from other people. It's going out there and reading. It's getting a coach. It's getting a mentor. It's listening to this show. You are gaining wisdom. When I think of wisdom, I always think of the sage, like the big, long gray beard, the gray hair. I think that's why I always had such a hard time myself, when I was younger without gray hair to really be respected, because I just respected it. I just thought gray hair just meant wisdom, right? So much experience, so much wisdom, so much knowledge, so much life has been lived. And that's what I've always seen, like Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings, right? That wise sage, somebody that's been through so much and been around through so many things. The Oracle in The Matrix, she was around, she knew everything, she was wise. And wisdom comes from, again, experience, but yet it's learning from people that have had the experiences, learning from people that have been through things. That's what wisdom is. So in life, we have a combination of those two, but most of us really focus on experience more than wisdom. And that's where the trouble lies, because we go out there and we make a lot of mistakes. And again, you learn from those mistakes, which is a good thing, but we can avoid a lot by having experience. So when somebody's going for a job and somebody's going, hey, I need to work, I need to get a job, and they go in for an interview and somebody says, well, you don't have the experience. I'm looking at your resume and there's no experience. Here are the answers. And this is what you can write this down. Maybe not for you, but to share it with your family, your friends, or somebody that's out there trying to get some job or move up in some area is this. Is you tell them, look, I may not have the experience, but I have wisdom. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to go out there and do it the way you want me to do it. Somebody with experience may come in and they may do it their way from their experiences, where I'm a clean slate and I can come in and learn from you and be the best that I can possibly be. is such a great answer. You can say, I can learn. And that's the key. What people are looking for is coachable people. They're looking for people that are willing to gain wisdom. And you can overcome the experience hurdle by bringing that type of attitude into the situation. So when anybody says, well, you don't have any experience, well, you say, I don't have the experience, but I'm willing to learn. I understand wisdom. And wisdom means I don't have to make the same mistakes everybody else has made. I can learn from those mistakes that you've made or whoever's teaching me, my supervisor, and I can get better. So wisdom can be gained. It's something that we can all get. You don't have to be Gandalf. You don't have to have gray hair. I've learned that over the years, that belief that I had. Anybody can really bring wisdom to the table. And gaining wisdom is critical. I mean, obviously, I'm preaching to the choir. You're here on a Saturday listening to this, and you're getting that wisdom into your mind, and we're talking about wisdom. And what I just told you is wisdom. It's experience that I've had by going in and getting a job 20, 30 years ago. It's probably 30 years ago, and somebody saying, well, JB, you don't have experience. That I'll never forget. That's one of the things Gene Cray said after he made fun of my letter. If you haven't heard that story, I wrote a letter. I was running gyms, and I just graduated with my bachelor's degree. And I was running health clubs, and I wrote a letter to Pueblo Aeromotive, and because they had an ad in the newspaper, this is back in the newspapers, for somebody to sell helicopter engines. And repairs. I had no idea about any of that. I was running gyms. And so I sent a letter to them, and they called me in. And Gene Cray called me in and said, hey, Dwight, get in the office. And I was sitting there, and he said, I wanted to meet the person that wrote the worst letter ever. And this is why I have fear of writing, right? My grammar was not the best. I really didn't know how to write, but I was passionate. And we started talking, and that's one of the questions he said. He said, you don't have any experience in here. And I said, Gene, but I have wisdom. Mr. Cray is what I said. We got Dwight, Mr. Cox here, who's been doing this for years. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to be wise. I'm willing to learn from his mistakes. I'm willing to learn from Mr. Boucher. Don Boucher was also working there. I said, I'm willing to learn from these guys. Give me a chance. I'm not an engineer. I'm not anything. And they said, you know what? You're exactly what we want, because we don't want somebody with experience. We want somebody we can teach. And that got me into aviation. I mean, that got me from being a guy running a health club to selling helicopter engine repairs, T-53 Huey engine repairs. If you think about that, how crazy that is. And it all came from this one idea that I could get wisdom from these guys, from these people that were in there, and I could learn their business. And that's the first thing they did. They started teaching me, and they sent me out all over the world, said, go do your thing. And I started getting them business. So you can gain wisdom. You can gain wisdom from those around you. You can learn from your environment. You can constantly be learning. And that's where I think wisdom is such a great thing, that we've got to constantly be understanding things that are happening, constantly getting that education and learning, right? And some things you have to experience. I mean, there are certain things you have to experience. For me, growing this business has been bleeding edge. Back in 2009, we started subscriptions. Right now, Apple's adding subscriptions for the first time. How many years ago was that? 12, 13 years ago? We did it years ago before anybody else. Think about that. That's how bleeding edge we are. And now we're finally being able to move the CoachCast into our system. Again, apologize the other day, Thursday, if you got a bunch of emails. It's because we were adding it to the offer, and just not to get technical, but we're building it into morningcoach.com within Kajabi, our system. And so you may got a couple emails, and I apologize for that. But the new feed is rolling. It's great. We're going to be adding transcripts. There's some really cool stuff coming to it. And the most important thing is it's all in our system. But I had to experience that. The reason was there wasn't any wisdom. There wasn't anybody teaching that. And that's why, for me, going into the new world of ILD, which I've been teaching for 6 or 7 years, but now evolving it to a point that's so solid, which I'm going to be able to teach amazing things coming up in the next month when we start really putting that out there. I have the ability to share a lot of experience that a lot of people don't have, because there's not many people that have been through the things that I've been through, which is cool. But what does that mean for you is it allows me to impart that wisdom to you so that you don't have to go through those experiences. Hopefully I'm going through so much that I can coach and teach so others don't have to. And that's what I've always said, the cross you bear as a coach. You got to go out and do things. If you're a coach or somebody that's really leading people, you got to get out there and take some arrows. You got to be the one that's kind of, trying new things and failing, because you got to be able to share those experiences with the people you're working with. And that way they can be the hero. And you got to be able to step back and allow others to be the hero. And that's what's so cool about the evolution of really where we're going now. By getting things in place for you to execute and really do things, it allows me to step back and allow other people to be the hero. Again, sharing experiences that I've had is, this business of morningcoach.com has generally been about me. Me doing this daily show, putting that energy out there, and it's something I want to do forever. I just love it. But in the big picture of things, this isn't about me. It's about you. It's about the people that are involved. It's about Mike. It's about Karen. It's about John. It's about Roxanne. It's about Lee. It's about people that are coming on board and getting involved in what we're doing. Muhammad. There's so many people. Khalid. There's so many people that have been here that are just amazing. It's about you. I want you to be the hero, not me. I want to step back. And I want you to take the wisdom and really go out there and utilize it to become whatever that you want to be. Kat, I know you're listening. Focusing in on the things that you can learn and then go do it. But we got to do things. We got to get out there and make things happen. And again, I've mentioned this before. That's why I did Get It Done Now, because I want people that execute. Look, we all fall off. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about awakening the spirit. And I'm going to talk about how now I'm doing like a daily consciousness journal. I'm really working hard to become more spiritual. I don't want to get into it too much today because I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. But I'm working hard to become more in the now. I'm working hard to control my mind. I'm working hard to move away from substances that take me away from living my life. I'm working hard to become more attentive to life. That's me. And I'm working hard to become more attentive to you. And so all of those things come from, this ability to connect and understand what we're trying to accomplish and everything we're trying to do. But at the end of the day, you are the hero. You are the one that's riding on the horse, and I'm just the one that's carrying the armor. I'm the squire that's on the side, and hopefully I'm preparing you for the things that you got to get out there and do so that you can shine. You can be the one they cast all the roses down to. You can be the one that gets all the rewards from all this stuff that we're doing. And that's really what it's about for me. So wisdom versus experience. Again, this conversation may not be for you. It may not do anything for you. You might be saying, I'm JB, I'm already got things going. I got my business, I got things going, I got my career. But maybe there's somebody in your family. Maybe there's somebody maybe a child of yours that's getting ready for a job. Or maybe they're going somewhere and somebody's saying, you don't have experience. I think we've all faced that, where somebody said, well, you don't have any experience. And it's usually from somebody that doesn't understand the idea of wisdom. But when you come back with the idea that, hey, look, I don't need the experience. You've got the experience. Why do I need experience? I'm here to learn from you. I'm here to learn and become wise. I'm here to learn and get that wisdom. And I think that word is really critical. Back in the day, I used to play Dungeons and Dragons. It's funny to bring that up. I know I'm kind of a nerd. And they used to have characteristics of the character. And one was intelligence, and the other was wisdom, right? And I never really understood those dynamics. There was strength, there was dexterity. You rolled dice in each of those areas, you would get these higher scores. And the cleric, the healer, was the one that always, you wanted a high wisdom score. They had charisma and a couple others. But wisdom was one of those ones that's like, why would you ever even need that? And the truth is, it's one of the most dynamic characteristics of a human being that we can have. Obviously, I'm talking about role-playing, but even for us, we have our own wisdom score. And that wisdom score is how good do we listen, how good do we take in information, and how coachable are we? That's really what it's about. And the more coachable you are, the more wise you are. And the more wise you are, the less experience you need. And that's really what it's about, is jumping those gaps. And that's what we're working on here today to do. And what we're going to be working on in the future is to really help you jump those gaps. As, all of us here are kind of squires to you, to give you the weapons and the things that you need to succeed. And we're going to continue to do that. So a System Saturday today, wisdom versus experience. I think you got it. And I think it'll help you. If you need us, you know where to get us. Remember, get to the new feed. We're going to be using the new feed pretty much exclusively real soon. So make sure you put the new feed on your player. Make sure you go to this site so we can, make sure everybody's in our system and not on these other systems. And like I said in the email you got the other day, this is the last change we're making, and it's an exciting time. So And that's through a lot of experience and a lot of wisdom. So go have a great Saturday. I love you. I'll be back with more here tomorrow. I'm still in Indiana, by the way. Going to be here for a few more weeks. And then I'll be heading back home. So go do it to it. I love you. Go have a fantastic Saturday.
Today's sponsor is Kajabi. Kajabi is the world's leader in educational business web systems. The Morning Coach platform is built on the Kajabi framework, and it could work for you too. For more information on the Kajabi platform, just go to morningcoach.com/Kajabi. Spelled Kajabi.